forecast said 5 knots. We have 15 to 18, and it's kind of rocky and rolly here on the anchorage, so it's not the best conditions to pick up anchor by yourself, but I think I might have to. It's my dad's 70th birthday coming up. My mom wants me home for Christmas. There is a movie release to be celebrated, a couple of presentations to be held, and I will be helping Maria again with charters on her sailboat Joana the upcoming season. Hence, I need a safe and not too expensive place to leave my little Carl. And since Costa Rica is insanely expensive, I decided to sail back to Panama. Alright, finally picked up anchor. The weather wasn't getting any better, so well, yeah, I had to pick up anyways. And now we have 15 to 20 knots. We're sailing beautifully, doing 4 to 5 knots, and it's a bit of thunderstorms around, and the wind is a little bit like gusty, so I'm a little reefed. Well, I'm gonna go around this little nook here and then set course for the next 5 to 6 hours and put the wind vane up. Obviously, I'm not super stoked to come back to Panama, so to make it a bit fun and exciting, I decided to sail some 70 miles to Boca de San Pedro and to take Carl up the river Pedregal to check into Panama and David. Just on the edge of it. See the thick rain closer to land. Here. You can hear and see the lightnings. And this side is actually quite pretty. So we better look to the pretty side. And not to the gray wall behind us. The rain is taking our wind away a little bit. We're still doing 3.4, but the current is pushing us inland a little bit, so you gotta be careful. Look who's saying hello! Well, I'm just arriving in my anchorage. I'm really just gonna throw the anchor here off the coast, not too close, so I don't have any problems with waves crashing over me. And I have some dolphins coming by to visit me for the morning, and birds and whatnot. So it's beautiful, beautiful last trip, and yeah, I'm just gonna drop anchor now. I'm trying to stay out of the delta of the river a little bit, so when the tide and the tidal currents and the currents of the river go in and out, that it doesn't bother me too much. And I have to wait here for like maybe 3 to 4 hours, and then I'm good to go up the river, hopefully. Fingers crossed. That's the entrance of the river over there. So I'm trying to stay behind this little nook here, because that's apparently where the waves are really crazy. Yeah, I just anchored up here for the night. Well, not for the night, for actually just 2 hours. It was already light when I got here. Just for 2 hours, just to rest a little bit and to wait for the tide. And now I'm gonna try and go into the river. Well, this is the river that goes up to Pedregal. And we have to go around these lovely banks. You can see them breaking. They're doing what breakers do, they break. You know, these are all the breaks that you see out there. And then this is the entrance, so it's a bit shallow and it's a bit narrow as well. So this is a mile, so you can figure out that's not too wide, so that's going to be interesting. So far I couldn't really see any good point of entrance. We'll see when we get a little closer. But with the binoculars, it didn't really look too friendly. Well, I abandoned the mission San Pedro because it looked a little bit too scary. It was actually breaking all the way across. So, and I didn't really want to wait too much. It didn't look as if it was going to get super better. So now I'm on the way to Boca Brava. Okay, from here it looks as if this entrance is way more smooth. It looks as if the opening where you can go through is way bigger. Well, the other one didn't have an opening at all, actually. Yeah, this is the other entrance, and you can see that it's nearly a mile. Yeah, it's nearly a mile wide to go in there between the breakers. There's still breakers, but it's a little bit more friendly than this. Dangerous area. Maybe that was such a good plan. Anyways. Okay, the stuff breaking there. But there's also some stuff breaking just here. And the depth is definitely off from my chart. So, yeah. We're supposed to have 15 to 20 meters of water beneath us. We only have 5. Yeah, I did not dare to go in. There is like occasional breakers every now and then, but they were really like unpredictable. So it was a little scary. And I just went out a little bit and I just dropped anchor here, and I'm gonna hang out for another hour maybe. And then I'm gonna go in again around slack tide and hope that things will settle down a little bit. Okay, here we go again. Attempt number 3. Whoa, huge. Shit. Whoa. Okay, it's looking alright so far. It's a bit rolly, but so far nothing breaking on top of me. And it's not really slack tide yet, but it looked very much calmer. So I decided to give it a go because I didn't want to miss the window in case it's this one. You really can never tell with the currents on the video, but there's a lot going on over there. big body. Looks like a bit more current ahead. But I have tons of dolphins playing with me. I need to go around that corner and then before that little hill, that's where I turn left and then right. And there's two shallow parts, so I have to make sure I don't hit those. So, but it looks at this crazy current bit, it's gonna be over once we pass that. Look, whoa, it's really strong. It looks really pretty. Which way to go? There's tons of little entrances and rivers. I'm not sure which is the one I need to take. I'll go around somewhere there, I think. Not sure yet. It's really pretty, but a bit confusing. Well, I dropped anchor in one of the bowhouse anchorages along the river. It's one of those that is just where one of the arms of the rivers come into this river. And I mean, I've been anchored in the broliest places for the last week or 10 days, so this is like, the boat seems as stable as a house. It's incredible. Yeah, made it! Back to Panama, as crazy as it is. Cheerio. Okay, it's a long story. No, it's actually not that long, but... Well, I was in that beautiful, quiet anchorage, and I was looking at the tides, and I was debating what to do, and it looked as if I go to the next anchorage, which is about another 4 miles away, that if I leave at the first light in the morning, like at 6 o'clock, then I could probably make it there at 7. So it's like, okay, well, if I want to make it, then I have to pick up anchor now. And everything, like, looked from the depths, it looked all right. And so I picked up anchor. And of course, just like 10 minutes after I left, it got so shallow. It was like, when my depth sounder is at 0.7, I'm on ground, and it was like 1.0, 0.9, 1.0, 1.1, 0.9. And I could see the sun slowly setting. I was like, oh, okay, this is... obviously, you can't go fast because you don't really know what's going on. So I went left and right, and I tried to watch the water. But, well, I was determined, so I kept going and crawled my way through those shallows. And finally, I came to this new anchorage here. And it's so quiet. The only thing you can hear is the distant ocean swell from that. I'm just actually north of that crazy entrance I tried to go in this morning. So actually I anchored 3 times today. Oh well. Yeah, one of those days. I hope I'm gonna make it tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Well, the sun hasn't risen quite yet, but you can see a little bit, so I think I'm gonna start and pick up just to save a little bit more time of the high water. It's a beautiful calm anchorage here. I slept like a rock. Alrighty, anchor's up. Fingers crossed that this will work out. Otherwise we'll have to sit somewhere on the sand for a while. Well, it's outgoing tide, so obviously the current is against us, but thanks to super duper birdie, we're moving. We're on the way. Depth is 5.2. So looks like the tide is still pretty high. And if we can go on with this speed, then it's gonna be an hour and a half, probably. So it's good we left early. Now we're about to reach the area with the first really tricky 1 meter, 1.3 in the charts. So far, even at low tide, or nearly low tide, those numbers weren't right, so this might be our first chance to get stuck. By looking at the mangrove, the water level seems to be still really high. That's the area I had with the first 1 meter patches. Well, it's starting to go down slowly. This is where the river flows out, so maybe that's why this is the channel. I'm guessing. Might get stuck in a second. Okay, that looks really dry over there. I'm gonna stay in the stream of this river in the hope that that's gonna help me. This is really crazy. Well, but the good thing is now we have 6.7, although the chart says 1. So let's hope it stays like that. And like you can see here, it's kind of like stopping over there. So I try to stay out of it and go around. Of course, I have the sunlight right in my face as well. Awesome. It's pretty, but doesn't help. Okay, around the corner there's some 0.6 stuff coming up. So that will be really interesting. Okay, I'm entering the crazy area. My charts say 0.3, my depth sounder says 4. My heart says pulse of 180. See that line? So that's probably the shallow bits behind it, so I'm going to go around the line, around that, and then around the other side. Wow, the water's getting really murky. My paperwork in Pedregal, which worked really smoothly. And I had time for a beer, and then I had to speed down the river again to make it to the mouth before dark. Since I knew where the shallow parts were now, my adrenaline level stayed a little bit lower this time, and I made it with the last bit of light into the anchorage. It's another early morning start here. Picked up anchor at 5:30 because I need to make the last 7-8 miles to Boca Chica, where Carl's gonna be on a mooring. Yeah, I hope we're gonna make it over that last little shallow parts without any problems. Fingers crossed. I'm just checking my course and my depth. And yeah, that's about it. Okay, I'm just before the entrance to Boca Chica, where it gets a little bit more shallow. I'm still like in the first third of the falling tide, so you're supposed to go over there before half tide, so I should be good. But then, you know, it's nature and everything moved, and the charts have been off quite a bit, so it'll be interesting. Outstanding navigational planning coming in with the sun right in your face. Miss Bess, por velero, cal, cal.
He's still sleeping.
Miss Bess, por velero, cal, cal. Wake up, dude, it's starting to rain. Come on, I want to have breakfast. Get out of your bed. Well, no one heard my calling, so I actually paddled in. And I got someone on the boat now to help me pick up the mooring. So this is where we're gonna go. That's our spot there. Nice. Okay, I'm on my way to the Panamericana to catch a bus to Panama City. I left Carl this morning, which was really, really sad, and he's swinging there by himself now on the mooring, and I hope he'll be fine. I think he's getting used to me leaving and coming back. Since he's been abandoned once before, I think he's a little scared, you know, that it'll happen again. We'll see. Well, it's time to go home and work on that movie that Patrice is doing, the UNTIE the Lines full-length movie. And then have some good time with my family and friends. I hope Carl will be fine on his mooring. I resealed everything, double sealed, and put a snubber and a second line, and well, she'll be fine. And I'll see you when I see you. But more about that, I don't know when.